Hi everyone, Emma here. So I have some more really interesting design ideas for using recycled belts. So let me get a few things and we'll talk about what we're going to do. So let's start by tilting the camera a bit. And I get so excited to talk to you guys that I forget stuff. So I actually forgot my light, which I normally do forget because I just put it down on the side of my desk. It kind of takes up the space where my mouse is. So when I'm looking up stuff, I need my mouse. But here we go. So let's just adjust this lighting a bit and it'll kind of settle down. That's way too bright. I think I was taking photographs last night. Apologize for that. That's better. There we go. Ta-da! So let's start with the belt. Oh my gosh, I fell in love with this belt. You can imagine. I I save all the buckles and the if there's any pieces like I'm not sure what they call this part here. I save it, and I usually save it attached to a piece of the belt so I have an idea of what it came off of. But yeah, this one's amazing. So I actually am looking forward to doing something with this. It looks like it's copper or brass maybe with this incredible patina on it. So I may be using that for something else. It is kind of heavy though, so we'll see. Anyway, that's an aside. So that was the belt. And let me just quickly show you. I have already taken one strip out of this. And if you saw any of the previous two videos, you'll know that I do my strips with this contraption that I got on Amazon. I think I did post the link for this, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend this one. There's a bunch of different ones. This one, I mean, it works great, but I found that you can see I was trying to adjust this wheel and I can't, it's stripped, so I can't get it to come out this way. What it does is there's this area here that is a guide. It will bring the guide out so I can get a shorter strip. But since I can't move it along here, it's stuck. So I am left with, which isn't a big deal. It's usually pretty well the size of the bracelet that I want anyway. So yeah, I'm going to do some research. If I come up with a different one that's a little better quality, that it won't strip, I will let you know. So I have cut two. So I got I have a massive strip. This is amazing how many bracelets you can get out of this. So this is an amazing way to save on spending money on leather. And the great thing about this, let me adjust this. The great thing about this is these belts have designs in them already, so you don't have to worry about it. Now you do have to kind of clean it up because this side is polished. This side is not where we cut. So I'm going to show you how to do that, and it's pretty easy. So that's the leftover belt that I can get two more strips out of. And you know, even if you save the one strip that has the holes in it, you can still use that for other things. So I'm going to do a video on that. So what I did was I cut two of these strips. I'm going to make a 7.5-inch bracelet. So I cut two strips of 5 inches each. And I'll just quickly show you. So we're going to do 5 inches. And then what we're going to do is we're going to string some beads on stretch cord. So this is a great way to do a leather bracelet that doesn't have a clasp. This way you don't waste any of your leather, and if you don't have any specialty clasp, you can still make an amazing bracelet. So using the stretch cord to attach in between each end of this bracelet like this, and you put your beads on the stretch cord. And this way you basically have a stretch bracelet on leather. And wait till you see some of the things that we're going to put on this. It's amazing. So let's clean this up. You don't have to. Again, this will be on the underside of your wrist, so it's not a big deal if you leave it flat, but I'll show you how to clean it up. Put that there. And I'm just going to do this on my nylon stamping block. So let's get this side here. And we're going to use this tool. So this owl tool I got from AliExpress. I think it was like $2 or $3. This says size 2. There's a bunch of different sizes, and actually I ordered the rest of the sizes. The reviews were really good on this tool, and but I wasn't sure. You know, sometimes you can't judge the reviews. So when I got it and started using it, this little blade in between the two prongs is super sharp. It works great. It doesn't gouge your leather. It just takes a nice little gentle piece off of it. So let's show you. So you're just going to take and put it on an angle. And let me see if I can tilt this a little bit more. And then enlarge this so you can see. So I'm just going to hold on to it and just get it started here. And just gently, don't dig in. Because here's the thing, you can take a little bit at a time and then go back and do it again. So you just go down on an angle all the way through that edge. I feel like we need some more light in here. See if I can. Just keep going. And you can see I put a little more pressure there than I did here. So just be aware of that. It takes a little bit of finessing, but I'm not too worried. I might go on the other side and just do that so that it's even. And you can go over it like that. There. So that's one side. You can see how it's getting nice and rounded. So we're going to do this side now. That out of there. And you can see how simple this is. And for a few dollars, it's worth the tool. So you can continue to round this a little more, but I think maybe we'll do a little edge here, but really doesn't need it. So now I'm going to go to this edge. So go to about there. And there. That's it. So as you can see on this side, and even this side is flat, you could actually straighten this one out. Let's do that. Make it nice and rounded. Like that. There, like that. Okay, so we've rounded that a bit. You can sand this. You can sand it with a file or your... I use my bead reamer a lot. I use the bead reamer for opening beads and maybe buttons, metal buttons. I only use the tip usually. So this area here never gets used, but you can use it on this. You can see how that really... And I'm not pressing hard at all. Just a little, then come along here. Like that. Like that. Okay. So since this is black, we're going to take a Sharpie marker. I'm also looking into buying some leather dye. So I'll be able to show you with leather dye, but a Sharpie marker works great. So let's get the marker. Now be careful when you're doing your Sharpie marker. My hand slips and I end up doing a line across the bottom. And I'm like, oh. So just take the edge. You don't have to make it super dark because the next step we're going to smooth it out and it will. Um, so actually this marker is a bit old. If it was a brand new marker, this would be a lot darker. So just hang on to those markers and use them for something like this. And I do have some brown, so you could do brown, but since the leather had some black in it already, I wanted to keep it consistent with the color. And there we go. So you can see I kind of did a little line there. Yeah. And let's get this brown spot. Now be careful, the tip of these markers are darker, so you can see how it's really showing up. I guess what I should do is flip it this way and use the edge. And I'm kind of being gentle. I don't want a big black mark anywhere near the nice brown leather. Okay. And just put a bit more on this edge here. That should be enough. Oh, we forgot this edge here. There. I'm paying really attention to this because the one I did yesterday, I put a black mark. I'm like, no. And I wet it with my finger to think it's a Sharpie, like I'm really going to erase it with the drop of my saliva. Not going to happen. There's a reason why they are popular. They're called permanent markers. Let me just see if I can get this a little darker on the edge. There, I think I'm done before I mess it up. So the next tool you're going to use, and you don't have to use this tool either, is this tool here. This was like $10 on Amazon. Normally what you do is you take your leather and rub it across, but whatever way works for you, because I'm using such a small piece, it's a little easier. So you're basically, you're getting it all nice and shiny. So if I had put more in here, this would be darker, but I really didn't. Just want the edges to show up. Let's do the side that I left on the one side. So it smooths it out and shines it up. You can use any part of this, whatever works best for you. And if you don't have one of these, if you have something that's rounded like this, you could use it. An old wooden spoon or something like that would work. let's just do this one up a little more. I wonder why my hands are sore after I do this stuff. I'm like going to bed and I'm thinking, since I had surgery on this hand, it was probably 2 years ago now, a year and a half maybe. And I'm like, I wonder why my hand's so sore. It's like, look at what you're doing. Okay, so now we need to put some holes in here. And this is the part, so a lot of this stuff I kind of got ready and had some idea how I was going to do it. This one, I don't know because I can't decide. So I think we will put a hole on each end in the middle and use that to string everything off of. We're going to do multiple strands so that it's all bunched up, and I'll just give you an idea here. We're going to use these beautiful turquoise chips, and we're going to put a couple of strands. This was, so here's the thing with this whole idea. This was recycled, this was recycled. So this was on a necklace, and it was, I looked up and compared with some other stuff that I had. So these are real turquoise chips. So I was so excited and, you know, have been hanging on to them to do something special. So I think this is perfect. So this is basically a recycled bracelet. So we're going to, I probably can get 3 strands total out of this, which would be perfect. So this would be the middle of the bracelet like that. So, and the reason I brought this up is I could do a couple of holes and do a couple of strands, but I kind of want these to be all bunched together, all the different strands, and we're going to add a strand of red seed beads to kind of go with the turquoise color. It's just an idea that I had. I thought we'd try that. So I think I'm going to bite the bullet and do one single strand. Now, here's the other thing. We can actually round this if we want. So you can leave it flat too. Not a big deal. But since we're doing one hole, I think maybe we should round it. And you can buy tools that are rounded that cut the corners off. I don't have one of those yet. You hear what I yet? So I'm going to take this and I'm going to create. So I'm just going to cut a little corner out of this like that. And another on this side like that. And I probably, you have to take a look at the other side. So I went a little longer on this one. And then on each corner of that, just take a little corner out and it'll kind of round everything for you. Let's get this one a little further down like the other side. Take out this little corner. And I think this is, the angle is very weird. Let me go in here like this. Just remember as you're doing this, you're actually shortening your bracelet. So I kind of was going a bit long on mine, so it should be fine. And I'm just gonna see if I can get this a little rounded like that. There. Okay, so that's one side. Oh, that's kind of choppy here. There. Perfect. I mean, it's not perfect, but it'll do for what we're doing. So let's get rid of these pieces and do the same for this side. I think I'm going to go a little less on this side. I think because I'm going on an angle, I'm probably cutting a little more on the back side. There. I think just there. That's not too bad. So the other part to this is you can go back and take this tool and round it as well. So we're just gonna kind of round it a bit. There. And you can do the black on this side as well. And you can kind of take some of that corner off with this tool. Or get your other tool. Let me kind of sand this a bit. There. Okay. That. There. And let's kind of round this a bit. Be careful with this one because it's nicely, the shape is nice already. Okay. There. I feel like I'm peeling carrots here. Okay. There, that should do it. Let's move this aside and clean off our bead mats. And we are going to, I'm trying to decide whether to darken it. I think we should be consistent here. Actually, you know what? I am going to use my brown marker for this. Let me see. I have one that's big. Nope. Let's see if this one, how well this one works. This one is, perfect. In the shape of a brush. These are some of my favorite markers. When I used to do a lot of watercolor painting, I would use these to do the outline of whatever I was painting. They're really pretty. There, that's one side. That's nice. It's you know, on doing the video, it's kind of hard because I would totally make this a better shape, and I'm sure you will as well when you're doing this. So definitely there's a tool that creates rounded edges, cutting edges. It's definitely worth getting because you can see how easily you start to chew up your leather by trying to round it. It's kind of an awkward thing to be doing. Okay, so we need to create some holes. So let's go in here. I'm going to start the hole with my bead reamer, and then we're going to go, oh, we're going to polish this. Forgot. This one, this one's the size for this. I think I'm just gonna use the edge here. Yeah, you can see how it nicely burnishes the corners. That is lovely. Okay. Lovely, perfect. Okay, holes. I'm gonna go in just a tiny bit here, and just enough so I know where the hole is. I'll do the same on the other side. So about there, like that. Now we're going to use the pin drill to create the hole. Let's hope I can get it in there. See if I can show you what I'm doing here. It's really dark. Well, yeah, I apologize. I forgot to turn my close my window so you can hear the traffic. I usually close it when I do videos. So just see if I can, without you guys seeing my hand. Let me bring it down this way. My drill just went in because I was pressing too hard. So you can just loosen that, pull it out, and I bent it the other day. These are teeny tiny. They're not like, they're meant for doing things like polymer clay and whatnot. There, see if I can do that. Let me try it this way. We're getting there. Okay. No. This is thick leather, so it'll take a bit to get through. Let's see if I can add a bit more pressure. Yeah, it's coming through. There we go. I'm going to use my owl and see, make sure, kind of widen it a bit. This pin drill comes with a bunch of drills, and you know what? I have all the drills in a little baggie, and I keep it on my desk all the time. And the last time I reorganized, so there's nice. I misplaced them. So I could have used a bigger drill bit, is what I'm getting at. And I was thinking we'd do 2 bracelets, but one with these guys. But I'm seeing how long it's taken me to do this. So what I might do is have everything ready for the next and do the second one. Oh, it's about ready to go through. There we go. There. Put that aside. And we'll use our reamer to get through. Make sure it's gone through so we can get our stretch cord through here without too much trouble. Okay. Let's get rid of some of this stuff. Okay, there is what we're going to use. And So I'm using this colored stretch cord. So definitely I'm using the blue for the turquoise chips. And then I didn't have any red, but the seller on AliExpress that sells this stuff actually has red. But I used pink for this. I'm going to put a strand, or I think we're going to put a strand of these seed beads. And these are seed beads from Michael's. Let me just show you here. They come on a big strand, tons of them for super cheap. They are not good for doing bead weaving. You can see there's different sizes. So there's big, thick ones and little ones, bigger ones. So, but for something like this, it gives it some kind of like an organic feel. So the other thing we're going to use is, I haven't decided which. I like to put some type of bead spacer bead to at the end of each strand so that I can hide the knot in there. So we're going to try that. So let's start by threading these guys. And let me tilt my camera again. So we've got our blue stretch cord. And pour these out. Now, in one of my last videos where I used a large eye needle to thread this, it kept cutting the stretch cord. Somebody reminded me about using a piece of wire. Now I have a little piece of thin beading wire, and you take a piece, you fold it in half and use that as your needle. The other thing that I have used for doing a lot of beads on a strand is these needles here, and I got these by accident. I got a ton of them for like a few dollars. They are amazing for doing loom bracelets because they have a really nice hole. They're a good, kind of in between size. You can get it through a lot of beads, and you can strand a lot of beads onto this. So I'm going to do that. Now to do that, I'm going to have to cut this on an angle. I found that that was the only way to get it through that eye. The eye is a bit small. Just cut that on an angle. And slide this. See if we can get that on there. I might have to cut it again. Little point here. That might work. There we go. And I'm not going to put that much through because the beads will get caught up on this part. So I always leave it right on the strand and just pull some off. And then when I'm ready, I'll cut it. So let's put that there. So now let's, I'm just going to kind of eyeball this into two strands. We're going to measure as we go. So you just go ahead. I don't pay any attention to which beads where. I just grab the next one. Because they're chips, they will nestle inside each other. Now, the one thing I did do for the other strand that I did is I left one of these kind of big rounded ones on the end. Let me put that one aside so that the edge is not really rough or pointy. And just keep going. And just like that. So we still need more on this. And I'll get my ruler out and we'll check. So we want 3 inches. I'm doing a 7-inch bracelet and we have 5 inches. I'm going to measure this because I know that we cut some off of this more than I was wanting to. So yeah, it's about a 1/4 inch less. Oh wait, let me see here. Not quite, just a tiny bit. And we're going to do 3 inches of the chips. So, and just remember, you can see a lot of the needle there. When we get this on the thread, it's all going to kind of bunch together a little more. So we're almost at 3. Let's put a few more on here. See where we're at. And we're still got a ways to go. Well, it's a pretty one. Okay, let me see where that brings us. 3. Okay, so now I am just gonna move these over. I'm just gonna move them down in onto the actual string, being careful because I don't want to cut my strand. So a few at a time. And pull these guys down past your strand here. I'm going to pull this out a bit. I don't think I need that much. One of these came off the needle. So these needles are great too for beading seed beads and other beads that are already on a strand. So when you buy beads that come on a strand, these are great because they will fit. And let me see if I have the edge of this one here. So if you see how this one is on the thread, I just hang on to my beads like that and I put the thread through and you can see, look at how amazing that is. So you don't have to individually grab each one. Okay, so let's measure this again, just to be sure. Yep, 3. So I'm going to take this off. Actually, you know what I might do is I might pull this down, leave this threaded, and do my second strand with that. So let's get these guys down quite a bit so that I have enough thread here on my needle for the other piece. Okay, so I'm going to cut this here and off of my spool. I leave a lot on the end. You don't have to. I like to make sure I have enough for my knots, and if part of it breaks, then I actually still have some. So let's put a bead stopper on this and do the next one. And we're going to need a bead stopper on this one since I cut it. So let's get a bead stopper. There. And let's get these guys on here. There'll probably be some left over of this. Maybe make some earrings. I really enjoy doing earrings, but I I really like challenging myself with bigger projects. So I think what I need to do is do some, maybe like a earring marathon, because I have some incredible design ideas for them. And I have some bead weaving earrings that I've made with peyote and stuff like that, and they are incredible, and I've never done them in a video, so that'd be cool to do. Let me see what we have. That is exactly 3. I'm gonna do one more. Let's put this nice chunky one on the edge. So we could probably do a 4th strand. We'll see how it looks first. So this is actually going on easier, I think, because I shortened this part here. And take this off. And I have lots of thread here. Okay, so let's start tying these on. Let's get our bracelet, our leather. Let me do this first, and we will put this through. So I don't know, maybe we need to do this double. I feel like this cord is actually quite strong. So we'll see. I don't know if this will go through without a needle. It will. Look at that. So let's just do it single strand to start with. Let me see if I can get this through the first couple of... No, you know what? I'm going to leave it here. I'll tell you why. Because we were going to put a bead there, and you know what? We should have done that first. Oh, I'm so confused. So let's put one of these on the end. Then put this through. Like that. Then go back through. So that will bring it to the middle here. Keep it in the middle. And pull like that. And then we're going to put... So I do need to go through a few beads and tie a knot. I was thinking of concealing the knot in here, but if I put the knot there, it will just slide under. I need to think about this. No, you know what? I think we can do this. So let's put our knot in here. Let's put the knot here. And this one, I'm going to do a surgeon's knot. So you're going to go through once, like that. And then you're going to go around a second time. And that's what you call a surgeon's knot, like that. And we're going to pull that tight, and we're going to bring this down as tightly as we can next to the other knot. There. That should do it. I'm going to leave this strand just in case we need to go back. So there is the one side. Let's get these guys down. And then we're going to attach the other side. Let's move this here. Like this. So we need another one of these. put this on here. Put this through. Let me get my bead reamer here. Okay. So let me. I'm trying to decide how much I should put tension on the stretch cord. Let me get my mandrel here. Bring it down to the 7.5. So just a slight bit of tension. Put a knot here. I'm going to make sure we are there. That. Okay, and now we're going to do a surgeon's knot on this side. So we'll go through this once and twice. That. We need to pull that nice and tight. I think we should, it feels a bit kind of loose, so I definitely think we need to do a second pass. So that I'm just going to put one more knot here, like that. And let's do this one through here. Hopefully we can get through there. So I think on the next one we will double up our thread. I may do this just with the once and fix it off camera. Yeah, I think I'll leave it for now. Just so that you get an idea of what this looks like with the multiple strands. And the more I look at this, I think it needs a third strand of chips. It's looking beautiful. I'm just amazed. So let's get these guys here. Let's put this back on the one side. And put it through the silver bead. And then through the hole. Let me angle this. We may have to put this on a needle. Let's see if I can get this through. It's probably getting hooked up on the other thread, so let's see if we can do it with this needle. Oh, this hole is small. I don't think that's going to work. There, we got that through. Let's go through here. Okay. Let's move this over. Let's create a knot. And that's not what I wanted to do. Okay. I have to get the thread from the other side of that silver bead. Okay. Okay, now we're going to put our surgeon's knot in. Okay, so we put one knot. We're doing this all on the other side of the silver bead. So go through once and then go through a second time. Like that, and pull it down. Pull them both tight like that. Then get everything through. Where is it? Oh, it's over here. Okay. And bring everything down the other way. Now we get a nice long side on this. Go through the silver bead. Like that. Pull that through. So this is starting to look good. And now we need to go through here. Let's see if we can go through without threading it. And it went through. So this hole must have been bigger. Okay, I'm going to pull that tight. And let's grab hold of that piece there. Create a knot. That. And try and get that nice and cinched tight. It's kind of loose. You're going to have to tighten that. So you can see your knot's not complete, so just pull it a little tighter. I think I have to go the other way, actually. Let's see if I can get this all the way in here. There, now it's tight. Hang on to that. Pull it tight. And then do our surgeon's knot. Let's put this through here. So this design, you can actually weave in and out all one strand, and then you don't have to struggle like I'm doing right now. I did want to do it this way because I feel like if one strand breaks, then you only have to worry about those beads. But if you have it all one piece and it breaks, then your strands, everything's going to go everywhere on the floor. So, okay. Tight. Let's do a surgeon's knot. So go through this twice. There's once and twice. And just try and get that as tight as possible to get that down and tight. there. There. So there's two. This is looking amazing. So I definitely feel like, let's take a look at what it looks like with just the two. So it looks fine with just the two, but I think a third strand would be awesome. So let's grab our third strand, and then we will put our pop of red in there. This one on here. So this is the first time I've ever done this, in case you're wondering why I'm struggling. And when I get done these videos, I'll sit down and I'll look at it and go, why didn't I try this? That would have made so much more sense. So I am so grateful for all the advice and recommendations that people make. I definitely listen and integrate it into my process the next time. But just a reminder that part of the reason why I do these bracelets for the first time on video is I get an idea. I'm like, oh, okay, let me try this. And if I do it off camera, then it's boring to me to do it a second time on camera. And I don't want you guys to be bored as well. So this is like first time here. That's not going to go through. Let me grab my scissors. One more second and I'm going to get a massive needle to go through. Okay. So that's in there. Let me go through here. I feel like it went through one of the other threads because it was really sticky. Okay, it's actually, let's leave this big here. This side doesn't matter as much. I'll pull that back out a bit. Okay, so make your knot and put it through. So there's the first knot, and then we're going to do a surgeon's knot. This once and once. Getting sketch here. There's one. Nope, didn't go through. Oy vey. Okay. There's our knot. Where are we to? Here, right, this one here. Okay, I should have left a longer knot. So there's once and twice. That and pull it down as close as I can get it and pull through. Okay, so grab the other side here and pull this all the way through. And you know what? I'm going to cut these. I'll just restring it off camera, like double it up. Let me cut those a little shorter. I may be regretting this, but and I had thought about putting 2 of these beads there to conceal the knots. So that might be, you might see that in a refreshed version of this. So let's grab this guy. And let's cut these. This off. Bring these down. It's funny, this cord seems really strong when I'm working with it, and then when I start to do this, I'm like, it's starting to feel, I think I'm playing with it too much. It's getting a bit messed up. Oh, this is looking good. Okay, so let's take this through this bead. Bring that through. That is looking amazing. Okay, let's get this guy threaded. There. And go through. You know what? I think I'm going to go through the back. It might be easier to make my knot coming out the front. Like that. There. Take this off. And let's get knotting, if I can figure out which one it is. This one. Actually, I could probably knot it around all of these. I think I'm going to do that. Try it anyway. So let's get this in here and put it through. So it's going to go around the two other knots. Pull that. And I'm going to go through this one twice. Let's see if I can get that pulled in nice and tight. There. I'm going to do one more knot. Before I go and cut it. That. I feel like maybe they're a bit loose. I kind of want to go through another piece here. I'm worried that this knot is just going to come undone. I have to redo these knots. I think I prefer to go through it twice. So we'll just be careful not to pull too hard. So you could leave it like that. That's lovely. But let's see what it looks like with the red, pop of red in there. I had thought of doing some crystals. Let me think about that for a second here. So let's see what this would look like. I don't like these, so let me put these aside here. I have some tiny crystals now. Where did I put them? Oh, there is a bin So I have a bin of like all kinds of, let me see here, of fire polished. Ooh, you know what? I have red. Oh, red fire polished. These are, there's even smaller ones. I'm like acting like I'm surprised. I am surprised. And this is my collection. Let me see. Patina copper bronze. And then we've got a larger fire polished Picasso. This would look amazing. Let me put this aside here. Okay, let's take a look what the best is. Oh, these are amazing. Okay, there's those. This looks awesome too. These I feel like matches the size a little better. So let's do one more look at this. These kind of get lost in there, so let's see what this looks like. And then the teeny tiny ones. Yeah, I think it's these guys are the winners. So about half a strand is what we need. So let's get our pink out. These might be difficult to string because they're quite small. Oh, the holes are good size. So let's cut this on an angle. This is annoying on so many levels. Yeah, and you get to hear the traffic on Shore Road in Eastern Passage. That does not want to go through. There's definitely a kind of flat side to this string, so I think I probably cut it on the rounded side, just making it harder to thread. I mean, get a bigger needle. This is not fun. This one's bigger, but it's thinner. Nope. See what I have here. This one looks big. We are going to do the folded wire method next. Let me try a collapsible needle. You know, when I first started beading, that's all I used was these collapsible big eye needles, even for bead weaving, because it drove me nuts. And I was like, I don't know that subscribers want to watch me thread a needle. So sorry about that. Okay, let's cut this one. We'll just measure it. I'm not going to worry too much about this. So let's get these guys on. Make sure they go on to begin with. Oh yeah, no problem. Okay. Now we're back in action. I was just thinking, have you guys ever had a situation where you're like super frustrated with a project you're working on, whether it's, you know, being able to thread your needle, or you get to a certain point with the project and you think you're so close to being done and then something happens, you have to start all over? Let me know. I was just thinking about when my sister Sylvia and I were teenagers. My sister Carmel was a fashion designer and had her own studio. And it was during the disco pants craze. Like they're basically like um, glossy tights kind of thing that everybody was wearing. So she was making those for a store in Toronto. And of course, she had to sew a whole bunch of them. And so she had us come to the studio to help her out. And so the way they make these, and if you're a big sewer, you probably know about serging machines. So the sergers actually sew and cut the fabric at the same time. So you do your pattern a little bit bigger than the finished product. So then when you pass it through the serger, it creates a finished edge to your fabric. And to do that, it cuts it as it's going, as it's sewing, right? So, so that looks like about the right size. I'm gonna leave that needle on. Not gonna make that mistake. And yeah, she had us. So we got. I don't even think she showed us how to use the machine. But of course, like stuff like that, so long ago now, I can't remember half the stuff. But yeah, she had us sewing this stuff. So we're gonna go through that silver bead. You know what? Since it's on the needle, I'm actually gonna go through some of these strands and create a knot. You know what? That I careful not to damage the cord that's there. So let's do something like this. So yeah, I don't know how many nights we did this for, but she had us sewing these disco pants. She was a character. Yeah, so this, I feel like this cut through the, let's see if I can fix this. It cut through the cord. Look at that, cut it right in half. Let's see if I can just fix this. Out the needle. I can remember falling asleep at the serger, and she's like yelling at me to wake up. I'm thinking, excuse me, we're not getting paid for this. I'm taking a nap. And then she's like, I have something you can take to keep you awake. Me and Sylvia are looking at each other like, no, we're good, we'll stay awake. And it's like, okay. What a great example of a sister. Okay. It's just again, I apologize for this. I am gonna redo these properly and I'll come back with a video. And what I'll do is I'll have this one ready to go and I'll come back with this one redone with the strands and I'll explain what I did so that, if you want to try it, you're not sitting there going, but that's how Emma did it. This will be the first time I'll be like, yeah, don't follow my instructions. So actually, I think I'll just do it here. Let's come around here. I'm gonna go around those two strands. There. That is lovely. Let me just make another knot. There. And there we have it. Let's take a look. Ta-da! There is this lovely bracelet. And yeah, so you can kind of twist these around if you want, or maybe I'm thinking maybe some of these fire polished can go interspersed with the chips. I don't know. You let me know what you think it should be. Or maybe have some silver bead in the middle. But there is this lovely recycled bracelet. Super easy. Just not easy for me. Take care, everybody. Bye.